This is one for the young lads in the gym. You come in, you're young, you're 17, 18, maybe even in your early 20s, and you want to get jacked to the tits. Here's the problem. You've been going for a year, 6 months or so, and you're kind of looking around and okay, you put on a little bit of size, but man, there's a guy over there who's absolutely he's like a monster. Your mate who's calm, he's suddenly grown traps, grown a pair of guns on him, and you want to know, like, what's going on here? I'm doing the same thing as these guys. And okay, there's an element of genetics there, like no one can deny that. You get someone walk into a gym, they got big old fat wrists and fat ankles, and maybe works on a farm, and you look at him and you think, yeah, that guy's gonna be strong. Even before he's even lifted a weight in his life, he's gonna have that natural strength. Now, unfortunately, if you're blessed with wrists of a 5-year-old girl, you're gonna struggle to put muscle on. That is just the genetic lottery. Choose your parents wisely. But another reason why people suddenly blow up and look like absolute monsters and absolute freaks is they are taking steroids. They're juiced to the gills, they're on the gear, they're jabbing up. They're on supplements that you will not find in Holland and Barrett, is what I'm trying to say. If anyone's familiar with YouTube, this is quite a big phenomenon on there, where, you know, people get called out for being like natural or not natural, or natty if you prefer. I never used to talk about it when I first started as a PT. It was never a relevant topic of conversation. It was like, you knew like the 2 or 3 guys in the gym that were using steroids because they were a lot bigger than everyone else. They tended to be a little bit older, kind of guys who've been training for like 10, 20 years and who thought, ah, do you know what, why not, I'll give it a go, my kind of gains have plateaued. But nowadays you've got like 16, 17, 18-year-olds taking it. Like an 18-year-old lad pumping himself with testosterone. The last thing I needed was to be injecting testosterone into myself. I mean, bloody hell, it was bad enough at the best of times. Anyone done the old belt trick? No, anyway, let's not go there. Now when I have consultations with the younger guys in there and they're like, oh, I want to look like this guy, or oh, I like his physique, a lot of the time I feel like I'm telling them that Father Christmas isn't real. You could look like that, but you're gonna have to, you have to start adopting a fairly serious drug regimen. I've never taken steroids in my life, but this is the first, no, I'm not gonna do it. I've got nothing against people using, if they want to do it, if it's something that they want to do. And I've worked with people who have used and have been upfront about it. And don't judge people. Like, if people want to do it, then they want to do it. The biggest problem that I have as a PT is setting these expectations for these younger guys in particular. You're going to have to be at it for years before you see, I would say, like an appreciable amount of muscle mass. Now, you'll get that kind of first year when you train, like, you know, you can kind of see things changing, but after a while, after like them first year, couple of years, things slow down. Making gains after that is like watching paint dry. So unless you love the process, then you might need a bit of a rethink. Man, it's a problem now. It's a real problem, and people get disheartened that they don't get results and they fall out of love with training, or they get disheartened because they're not getting the results they expect, so they jump on the gear. The expectations that are set by, you know, by the magazines and the people on YouTube and people online, it's not realistic. And I was torn making this video a bit because a big part of what I preach is focusing on yourself, and I think that's, you know, it's a pretty sound piece of advice. But I also think that it's not a bad thing to have role models, but when you're trying to aspire to something that I know as a coach is not attainable, then it would be wrong of me not to kind of make people aware of what's going on. I kind of think I like things out in the open. I like to talk about things. I don't like to be, oh no, hush, hush, don't talk about this. I think we should talk about it. And I think the more people that start taking it, and especially young guys that don't really know what they're doing, the more it should be discussed. Because generally, if there's a problem out there, something that's kind of left alone, or we're not supposed to talk about it, they tend to be the things that we should definitely talk about. So let's start a conversation about it. I mean, if anyone's watching this now and you have taken steroids or taken substances in the past, maybe pipe up in the comments. I don't expect anyone to, because there is a massive stigma around it. So trying to get people to talk openly is a bloody nightmare. And even with people I've worked with who haven't told me until like weeks or months into working with them because they're embarrassed or they're ashamed or they think they're going to be judged, it's a problem. It is a problem, and it's one that we need to discuss. So maybe the dialogue starts here. Maybe I'll do a few more videos about it. Stick your thoughts in the comments box below. Don't do drugs, kids. Take it easy. Bye-bye.